Ready. You're listening to the Station 71 podcast with your hosts, Mario,
Beth,
Brian,
and Kirsten.
intro music.
All right, so this is very exciting. Welcome everyone to our first ever live podcast episode to celebrate our 1-year anniversary. I am super excited. This is going to be super awesome. This is the first time we've ever done anything like this, so this is going to be interesting. But in typical Station 71 fashion, let's start things off, as always, with the news. So, first up, we have the I-4 eyesore is finally getting complete, ? I know we've all kind of talked about the I-4 eyesore on here a couple times. But for those of you that don't know, that giant building on I-4 that seemingly is almost never complete, it appears they're having some work done to it. That's interesting. I don't know how you guys feel about this.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
I think that's probably like the typical response, right?
Yeah,
The biggest question is, when it's finished, is it going to look any better than it does right now?
Hopefully.
It'll be lit up, so it'll be more obvious.
Oh god, yeah, that's a really big thing. Yeah, I don't know. It's super weird that they've taken so long to actually do anything with this. Does anybody know why? Like, what's been the holdup with that?
my understanding was that it's like a church and they've been taking donations for like the past 17 years. And so when they get money, they build more of it. So,
Interesting.
yeah.
Well, maybe it will get complete sometime in the near future. But next up on our news topics, we have special VI pass holder nights coming to Walt Disney World. So this is kind of like an exclusive after hours event, if I read this correctly.
Mm-hmm.
How do you guys feel about them adding something else new like this?
I think it's good to do this because I feel like they've been kind of, I don't know, dissing on the pass holders lately, and to give them something that maybe we'll actually get a chance to sign up for before the spots fill up, hopefully. Yeah. I think it's a good idea.
It's an add-on, and from what I understand, it's free, right? As long as you have an annual pass. So, I mean, any add-on they do these days that doesn't cost anything is good in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's kind of like Beth said, they're giving some love to the pass holders, and they really haven't done that lately, so I'll take it for that reason.
Kind of surprised they're doing one night at Magic Kingdom and then 2 nights at Epcot and then none of the other parks.
Yeah, that is a little odd.
Mm-hmm.
You have to sell that sweet, sweet Toy Story Land merchandise.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
So
I'm thinking that they're gonna, if this goes well, that they'll probably add some more, hopefully.
Yeah, that would make the most sense. Now, the question that I have for you guys, because I know you two are pass holders, are you going to do this? Because I feel like this might be your chance to get some short waits in Toy Story Land.
If they do it for Hollywood Studios, because I didn't get the email for the pass holder playtime.
Right. I actually totally misread that, and even though you said that it is just Magic Kingdom and Epcot, I for some reason thought Hollywood Studios.
So, but yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I think I looked up the dates. Are any of these on the weekend? I can't remember, because that's my go-to is the weekend.
Oh, true. I didn't even think about that.
So it's August 5th, September 6th, and October 25th.
3rd is a Friday, I'm quite sure. Dang. Yeah, the 3rd is a Friday, so it's Sunday, Monday, And I don't remember the other dates. I already closed the window.
That's okay. It's the 5th, the 6th, and the 23rd.
23rd is a Thursday. So,
The
Or,
5th
sorry,
is,
25th. Sorry, 25th
oh, that's a
of
Saturday.
October.
let's
Oh, of
see.
October?
Yeah, of October.
That is a Thursday.
So they're doing them on all weekdays. That's a little odd.
Well, the August 5th one is a Sunday.
Okay.
So that's good. You
It's
can go
right
to-
around the corner.
Yeah, it's like next weekend.
Yeah. Oh, I guess we should also note on this too. This is not open to Silver Pass holders.
Oh, interesting.
Mhm.
So
Only-
there's some restrictions.
Class
Right.
even within the pass holder family.
So I forget the blackout dates though. Is I'm assuming these fall within when the Silver Pass holders can't go.
Probably so.
Yeah, that would make the most sense, I think. Now, are we ready to move on to the next one?
Yeah.
So we have another new restaurant coming to Disney Springs. Chicken Guy is coming later this summer. So it looks like Guy Fieri is getting a chicken restaurant.
I literally, like, I didn't read the news item. I just saw Chicken Guy, and I thought it was like somebody dressing up like a chicken.
That would be pretty good.
Oh man.
I was really confused as to why this was news.
The news article itself says the menu features the tenders, grilled or fried, and sandwiches straight up on skewers, salad bowls, and things like French fries, mac and cheese, fried pickles, and coleslaw. So interesting.
So reading the description of how they make the chicken, it reminds me of like a Cane's, Raising Cane's. Do y'all have those? I know. Really?
Mhm.
Nope.
Oh, okay. Well,
What
and
is it called?
Raising Cane's,
Mm-mm. I've never even heard of that.
North Carolina. I don't know. They're all over Texas and Arkansas. It's just like a plain old chicken. I don't know. Special, whatever.
I mean, it's a new restaurant in Disney Springs, so that's always exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, there aren't enough at Disney Springs.
Oh, and there are 2 Flavor Town frozen treats.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Wait, hold on. I didn't put this in here, but speaking of food, did you guys get that picture I sent to the group chat? Because I feel like Beth should have been more excited about that.
Oh, I saw.
Apparently,
I must not have seen it.
so apparently this skillet that Brian and I always rave about at Whispering Canyon now has a vegan option.
Oh, that is exciting.
So,
Nice. I will have to try it. I've actually
Yeah,
never eaten there, so that would be a good excuse.
well, now is your chance. I mean,
Yeah.
so after that, we have a new sponsor has come to Walt Disney World's Splash Mountain. We have Ziploc will now be sponsoring Splash Mountain after they took the sponsorship of Epcot's Kid Cot.
Brian, you have to.
You-
Oh man, I was very proud of this. I asked the group after this news came out if the new finale song was going to be changed to Zippity Doo-Lock, but I don't think that's going to happen.
I think that's you said it. It's the best pun.
I'm so
love
proud of that.
So it's surprising that Splash Mountain just got a sponsor. Like, does that feel weird to anyone else?
It
Yes.
does.
Yeah.
Like, this was the last attraction I was really expecting anyone to sponsor in Walt Disney World, and here we are.
Right? I mean, like with kind of the questionable past of the movie this is based off of, I would feel like a lot of the sponsors would try to steer clear of this.
I wonder
Yeah.
if the Twitterverse is going to start calling out Ziploc for this.
I don't know. It also feels weird because, like, it's a classic attraction that's just recently getting a sponsor. And,
Mhm.
like, I don't know. I feel like at this point, at this stage in the game, obviously Disney needs the money to like take care of the upkeep, but like what else do they need the sponsor for? The ride is going to sell itself.
Right.
Yeah.
And shameless self-plug, but we talked a lot about, kind of the good and bad that sponsorships can bring in one of our past episodes. And it kind of just makes me wonder if this will be one of the sponsorships where Ziploc gets to kind of make some decision-making as far as what happens with the ride. And that's kind of scary, as always.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I guess we'll see what happens, because it could be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So we're ready for this last one before we take some of the questions. I know we've got a couple built up in the chat room right now, and we have a couple in our email that we wanted to get answered. But last up, we have extensive electrical upgrades coming to Epcot's World Showcase Lagoon and a possible new nighttime show. I know we've been hearing some rumblings about Illuminations leaving for a while now, but it seems like they're finally doing the refurbishments available to set something in there.
It's exciting, but kind of nerve-wracking at the same time. I love Illuminations, so it's always interesting to see what Disney's going to come up with.
I think I'm in like the 1% that may actually be one of my favorite nighttime shows. So I'm a little upset that it's leaving, but I know why it has to go.
Yeah.
I love the music, but the actual show is just kind of meh to me. Like, it's hard to see. I feel like I feel like I've never watched Illuminations without constantly moving my head around like this to see around people's heads.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. There's only like a few really good spots to actually see Illuminations, so I get that. So, if we don't have anything else to say about the news this week, we have 2 questions in our chat room right now. So if anybody's there that wants to send anything over, now is a good time to start sending that stuff over, and we'll kind of answer them intermittently between talking about some other stuff and kind of reflecting on this last year of the podcast. First up, we have a question from Mogul Clothing Company. If all of you could pick one Toy Story character to be, which one and why? Interesting question. Anyone want to take that first?
Like, we actually are this character?
Sure, let's go with that.
I gotta think about this.
That's a thinker. We can think on that one. We can answer Chan's question because he asked us one too, and come back to that. I know we've answered this one before, so this might be a little bit easier. He asked if we collect trading pins and if we have any favorites. So I know
I have a couple. So, but yeah, some of my favorites are the special edition Haunted Mansion set that I have, and some of the I think I said this before, but a lot of the Fort Wilderness ones that I collected going with my family over the years.
I don't
go ahead.
I don't collect them, but I do have one that I want really bad, and it would be my favorite. There's one from several years ago I saw like online, or I don't know, whatever. And it's Roger Rabbit and Jessica Rabbit dressed up like Sonny and Cher.
Of course.
I've never been able to find it, so if anybody has it on eBay, let me know because I will buy it, but I've never found it. So
it's so surprising that you would want that.
I have 2. I have one that I got on the last trip that my whole family took. It's like a trifold tangled one, and it's got like pictures, and they're kind of like a storybook. And I also have one. It's a like stained glass little tiny one, and it's got the sorcerer's hat on it, and on the inside it has like some quote that says Walt Disney that probably wasn't said by Walt Disney.
I have a bunch of pins. I don't really have like one particular favorite that stands out, but I guess my favorite like kind of collection would be my like event pins. Whenever I do like Not So Scary or like one of the festivals at Epcot, I always make sure to get a pin. So I like those.
Nice.
Cool.
So do we want to answer some other questions and then come back to that Toy Story one?
I've found my Toy Story answer.
Okay, what is your Toy Story
I
answer?
Googled the list of characters. I mean, I have to choose between two. I think either Slinky Dog because he's like adorable, or Ham because I feel like he has an attitude like I do.
Yeah, I was kind of channeling Ham as myself, but I don't know if that's the one I would pick. Maybe let's answer one more and then we'll keep thinking about it.
So here's an easy one. I'm going to take this one from you made that Curious Cat account, Beth, and I went and I looked at some of the questions that we had posted in there. And there's some really good ones, but this one's pretty easy and we can take some time to answer that. The first question that we had was, how did you guys know each other prior to making the podcast? And the answer did not. I made a post on Reddit and I said, hey, I want to make a Disney podcast. And like a bunch of people responded and then everyone got not interested in it. And all four of us were still interested in it.
Yeah. Here we are a year later.
It's crazy. You know, I used to listen to other Disney podcasts over the years and I always thought, man, like, that would be so cool. I should do that. And I was like, okay, I don't have any like technical knowledge on this stuff. So
well, and that was
that
was the funny thing. Cause like in my post, I was like, I will take care of everything technical. Just come talk Disney with me because I know no one that will do that.
So it was perfect. I was like, hey, look, there's some guy that knows what he's doing. I can just get to sit here and have fun talking about Disney every week.
Yeah, I also have no technical knowledge. Like Will kept telling me to start a blog, and I'm like, I feel like the blog thing is like over, and I don't know what I would say that's different. Like I don't go enough to have like do all the cool things like Tom Bricker where they go to every opening and try all the new restaurants. Like it would just be really boring. So I'm glad that this happened instead.
Yeah. And I'm happy that you guys agreed to do this because I wouldn't have done it if you guys didn't stay interested in it. So we had another one in here if you guys want to take a couple more minutes to think about that one, or if you have an answer, because I still don't. I mean, I kind of want to say Rex, but that's just because I like dinosaurs. I don't have a reason otherwise.
I mean,
you're like nervous and scared of everything. So
yeah, that's exactly it. Like, what good attributes are there besides that?
I mean, my reason for Slinky was he's really cute. So
I think I would be Wheezy because he can sing and I have no singing abilities. So that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, that would be pretty neat. Yeah, I think I want to change my answer, but I have to think about that one. So we had another one in here that was kind of interesting, and I feel like this is a good one for Kirsten because she's gonna have an answer for this. I feel like someone asked us on the Curious Cat, what rides seem the best at Tokyo Disneyland and Disney Sea? So essentially, if you could bring one of them over, which one would you pick?
Well, now I feel like I'm on the spot.
Well, okay. I was just saying because you're Tom Bricker.
Yeah, I am obsessed with Tokyo Disney and Tom Bricker. I got to think about it because, like, obviously Mystic Manor is kind of the first thing you think of, but that's not in Tokyo.
Yeah, that's literally exactly what I was gonna say.
And like the new Pirates is in Shanghai, etc. Let's see. I'm looking. If you want to keep talking, I can get a list.
That's okay. I kind of have to look at their website too because I don't know any of the attractions that are over there, like off the top of my head, at least.
I mean, I would definitely love to ride their version of Tower of Terror just because, like, hello, it's the best ride ever. But other than that, probably Sinbad's Voyage or whatever it's called.
I'm going to say 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Or Journey to the Center of the Earth, because I feel like those are the ones that you always hear about because they're so different.
I think 20,000 Leagues would be awesome, especially kind of like their take on it.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to steal y'all's answers.
Sure, go right ahead. Local clothing company also said that Rex likes to play video games, and I'm gonna say, sure, I'll take that.
There you go.
All right, let's see what else we got. Another person asked about Disney collections. They also said, love the podcast. It helped me a bit during my recent Walt Disney World trip. Aside from pin collecting, I think all of us at least have some Disney memorabilia. As I look to the left and my giant wall of pop vinyls is right next to me.
I don't really collect. I'm like I got really big into minimalism. Like I don't want a lot of stuff. So I would say probably books about Disney, like Disney history. I will always buy a new book, especially if it's about Disney. And right now, what I buy whenever I go to the parks is either like a new Pandora charm or a new Alex and Ani bracelet. I seem to get the most actual use out of those. But that's really all.
Cool.
But those are cool to collect too.
Yeah.
I collect literally everything. Like, it's bad. I have pins, I have comic books, I have Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom cards. I don't even play the game, but I collect the cards. If it's got Disney on it, I'm going to take it.
What is your favorite Disney comic book?
Oh,
that's really tough. I'm probably going to go with Figment 2.
Nice.
I didn't even know that existed.
I'm super biased, and I'm going to say Haunted Mansion.
Haunted Mansion is really good, but I love Figment 2. Nice.
Speaking of Haunted Mansion, the last question that we had in Curious Cat was, what are your favorite rides at Disney other than the Haunted Mansion?
Oh my gosh.
Tower of Terror, duh.
Flight of Passage.
Yeah, Kirsten gets away easy with that one because
Yeah.
I was thinking about this the other day because I went in and read these questions and I thought, it's kind of weird that all of our favorite attractions are haunted something, like Haunted Mansion or Tower of Terror. All of the like ghost rides at Disney are the ones that we're drawn to.
That's funny.
I guess I'll break the mold a little bit and say Expedition Everest.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. I don't know. If you take Tower of Terror away from me, I'm going to have to go either Carousel of Progress or Enchanted Tiki Room.
Nice.
Okay, I have to interrupt this podcast for a very important question. Brian, is that the Lego castle?
Oh, this right here.
Yes. Oh my god, I want it so bad, and Will's like, no, I want to spend money on Legos, and I'm like, oh, please.
See, I actually, one of my non-Disney things that I collect is Legos. So when there are Disney-related sets, like it's just a no-brainer. I gotta get them. So it took me a while. I kept saying, I'm not gonna get the castle. I'm not gonna get the castle, and then my wife got it for me.
Aww.
So yeah.
So how long did it take?
I'm wanting to say now, like you can ask my wife, when I sit down and do a Lego set, if it's like a big one, like it kind of consumes my life. So I want to say that I probably spent, I think it took an entire like 3-day weekend working at least 6 hours a day to finish it.
Oh my gosh.
So there was a lot of time in it.
Wow. She didn't help?
No, she lets me do. She knows it's like kind of my thing. I like sitting there and just like getting into it and doing it. So she just lets me do it. But yeah, it's awesome. There are so many cool little details. Like everyone looks at the front because of the facade of it's really cool and detailed and everything. But there's so many cool little like hidden aspects of it in the back, and that's probably my favorite part. And you really only find out about them as you're building it, unless you look really, really close.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Eli is old enough to do Legos. Like I'm super excited for when he gets that age. But I also feel like if I bought it, I wouldn't want it after I was done. Like I don't want these things in my house. Like I would want it gone. So like I would have to find somebody to take it from me completed and remove it.
I feel like if you took the time to sit down and do one, you wouldn't want to get rid of it knowing how much time you invested in it.
I don't know. Like I love puzzles, like jigsaw puzzles. I guess I kind of collect those because I primarily buy Disney puzzles whenever I find them. And I can do like 1,000-piece puzzle on a Saturday and then just like take it apart that night. It's fine.
Really?
So, kind of to tie that in there, someone in our chat actually asked if we do Disney puzzles. So, nice segue there.
Yes, I do. I love the Ravensburger. Those are really good. Like Will got me a Pixar one. It was like, I think it was 1,000 or 1,500 piece one for Mother's Day. And then there's like a Villains one by Ravensburger that I really want. I just haven't done it yet.
Nice.
I've done several Disney puzzles, but I got 2 cats in December, so I don't want to take that chance anymore.
Yeah. My most recent one, actually, I was trying to pull it off the wall, but apparently I don't know how I hung that thing up, but it's not come down. But it's a Haunted Mansion one. It's the same cover as this book behind me, so you can just look at that.
How many pieces is it?
It was 1,000.
Okay, good. Because like I like the Thomas Kinkade pictures. We have Thomas Kinkade, but they're not hard enough. They're only 750 pieces max. Like I prefer at least 1,000.
Overachiever.
I was going to say, I don't do Disney puzzles because that would take me forever. So do we want to take one of our listener messages? We got 2 of them. I can play one of them now if we want.
Ooh, yeah.
Sure. I'm going to play this first one. This is from Maria, who often posts on our Facebook page.
This is Maria from St. Petersburg, Florida, and I just wanted to say happy anniversary, Station 71. We love your show. We started pin trading, and we went to Trader Sam's for the first time, and let's just say we ordered the uh-oh without knowing what was going to happen and had a total blast. Thank you so much, and happy anniversary.
Very cool. Thank you, Maria,
That's
for
awesome.
sending that in.
The uh-oh is definitely my favorite drink to order at Trader Sam's.
I am super excited because I convinced my girlfriend that we're going to go to Trader Sam's this next trip, so finally get to do that.
Oh man, it is
Fun.
such an awesome experience.
Even if you're just a chicken and you get the non-alcoholic drinks, like
It is. I'm telling you, because you still get to see all the stuff that happens when the other people order their drinks. So definitely still worth it to go, even if you don't drink alcohol.
Yeah, for sure.
But should we play the other one, or do we want to save that for a little bit later in the show?
you can do one of the text ones.
Sure. We had a couple of those too. Let me pull them up. Oh, wow. There's a lot in here. So we had one from Brianna. She said, "Hey, gang, I'm so excited to hear the 1-year anniversary special. I've been a listener since April, but I binged the show, and I've loved every second of it. I'm really excited to see the live stream tonight as well, and I think it's perfect way to celebrate this milestone. Speaking of celebration, I know Epcot is known for their various festivals and celebrations throughout the year. Which of their festivals, Flower and Garden, Food and Wine, etc., are your favorites, and why?"
Mine is definitely Food and Wine because I love both of those things.
Is Food and Wine even considered a festival, or is that just part of Epcot now?
I mean, it kind of is, but I mean, I love Epcot for that reason too. So just adding extra kiosks makes it even better. But I mean, they do that for all the festivals, so I guess that argument could be made for any of them.
Yeah, Food and Wine's obviously like the big ticket item at Epcot, but I really like Flower and Garden because it's starting to get almost as many food booths as Food and Wine, and you've got like the extra, part of having the flowers and stuff there, which is really cool.
I would say I've never been to the arts festival of the arts, whatever it's called, but I feel like that is probably going to be my favorite when I go. But right now it's Flower and Garden. I like Food and Wine, but I'm also kind of picky. And so it's kind of like, why am I standing in a line for 20 minutes to try something I'm probably not going to like, to pay out the nose for something that I'm probably not going to like. And Flower and Garden, I love looking, like, it's just so crazy how they create those topiaries. Like, I think they're amazing. I love when they have new ones. I kind of get tired of seeing the same ones every year. And plus, it's like the perfect time of year. Epcot is amazing. So,
Well, okay, so I'm going to cut you off real quick because we have an incoming voice call So I'm going to answer that. Hello?
Hi, this is Chance calling in.
Hey, Chan. How's it going?
Hi.
Hi, how's it going?
It's going good.
Good.
Happy anniversary, you guys.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
very
calling
much.
in and wishing us a happy anniversary. And thank you for joining us on that episode. I have to say that was probably one of my favorite episodes that we've done this last year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely. For some of our newer listeners that haven't listened to our backlog of episodes, check out the episode that Chan did with us. Awesome episode. I had a lot of fun with that. And it was a great learning experience.
Yeah.
Good. I'm so glad.
You had to prove me wrong when I said that Magic Carpets of Aladdin could go away.
We're waiting for the pin to come out. I'm the person who posted that pin question earlier about favorite pins. We're trying to collect all the pins that my son can go on. For those of you guys that missed the episode in February, I have a special needs son, so I came in and we did a special show about going to Disney World with special needs kids, and it was a lot of fun. And I was really honored to be invited on. And that was the takeaway, was Magic Carpets of Aladdin is a necessary ride because it's wheelchair accessible. It's not just a Dumbo clone.
I'm so glad you proved me wrong, because now every chance that I bring that up, Kirsten has to point me out that we can't take that away for you.
It came up. I know it came up in another episode. I had to post on Facebook. No, Kristen. Thank you, Kristen, for bringing up that it can't go away.
But
take the dinosaur ride away instead. There's a Triceratops spin, I think.
Just take all of Chester's away. Yeah, no, we can just bulldoze all of that. We'll build something else there. It's okay.
There you go. All right. Have a great rest of your show. I look forward to the next year and listening to you guys for a long time to come. You made our trip a lot better when I first found you guys, when we first started planning our trip, and I enjoy listening to you guys every week.
Thank you so much, man.
Thanks.
It means a lot.
Yeah.
All right.
Have a good night, Chan.
Bye. Yep.
So those of you that don't know, there is a call-in number that you can call in live on the show. It's in the description of the actual YouTube video. So at any point, if you want to call in and ask us questions, I'll pick up the call and we'll be able to talk Disney with you guys. So super exciting. Yay. What was the question that we were talking about? It was, festivals. Festival of the Arts would probably be my favorite, just because I feel like it's so different from them. Yeah, I think that's probably what I would pick if it were up to me.
Yeah, as we were kind of discussing, like, I do love Food and Wine, but Festival of the Arts is really cool because I feel like it has so much more interactive stuff than the other festivals. Like, for anybody who hasn't been, they had like I think it was the first year, they had like a mosaic, and you could just take like a colored pencil and like fill in like a couple of little squares. And so like everybody got to make this mosaic together. And I thought, they have a bunch of stuff kind of like that. And I thought that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
That was super cool. I remember that because that was one of the first times that we went, or no, that wasn't the first time we went, but that was when we went, my girlfriend and I remember going in and they handed you this little tiny cup of paint that was like this big, and they all had numbers that you had to match up that color with. And it was just super cool to see that everyone was kind of contributing to this giant mural in some way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's like the perfect summary of what Epcot's about.
Yeah.
Yep.
Plus, it's really fun to get in those picture frames.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So we had another question on here from Will that said, what are you embarrassed to say that you've never done at Disney? Or what Disney movie are you embarrassed that you've never seen? And in parentheses, he says, example, Kirsten has never seen a single Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we did talk about that the other day.
This might be the only thing that I think me and Kirsten have in common, other than loving Disney, is that I haven't seen any Marvel movies either.
Are you serious?
Wow, I'm
serious.
so
Oh my
disappointed.
God. Brian, you seem like the kind of person, though.
I don't know. I need to. I don't like explicitly hate them or anything. I don't know. I'm the kind of person that when I watch a series of movies, like if it's a trilogy or something that I haven't seen before, I want to watch all 3 of them in a row. So the issue now is that like I'm so far behind on all the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to dedicate like an entire month to just watching them.
That's why
it's worth it.
Because I'm like, well, crap, I got to start at Iron Man. That came out like 10 years ago. Like,
and they still hold up though, so that's the best part of it.
Yeah, that's very true.
But I will say, like, so Will and I love movies. That used to be our thing. Like every weekend we would go to a movie. We love the Oscars. And one thing that does get immensely harder when you have a kid, like most stuff you can still do, whatever, go to restaurants. I don't care. But like going to the movies and like watching a movie is like the one thing where it's a lot harder to actually do with a kid. So blame Eli.
I don't know. I don't like. There's not really any thing at Disney that I feel like I haven't done.
Well, and I didn't actually answer this question for myself. He picked that for me. I've never seen a Marvel movie, so I have to think about a real answer too.
I can say mine. I don't know if I would say I'm embarrassed by this, but I take a lot of flack for this. I've never seen, and I guess this is kind of not, it's only recently Disney, but I have never seen any of the original Star Wars trilogy movies.
Okay, that is even more surprising than mine.
That is even more surprising, especially because you like Marvel. I feel like those two are kind of so close anymore.
Wait. So let me get this straight. You've seen the prequels and the newer ones, but you haven't seen the original trilogy?
Okay, you guys, this is going to blow your mind. The first Star Wars movie I ever saw, like the whole thing, was The Force Awakens.
I'm not surprised, though.
Your life is so sad and empty.
Wow.
But here's okay, so I know that the prequels are like notoriously bad, and I've only seen I only remember the first of the prequels, but my boyfriend swears that I watched the second one. Maybe it was just that bad that I repressed it. But
probably.
I don't know. Like, I don't have anything against Star Wars. I definitely care about it a lot more since Disney acquired it, but I don't know. The story, maybe it's because I haven't seen the original trilogy, but the story just didn't super grab me like Marvel did. So to each their own, I guess.
Because you're missing like a huge part of the story.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I would say I'm more ashamed of myself than embarrassed, because like I know Beth is super into conservation, and like I really am too. Like, I don't know, I read a ton about it whenever I was actually in the process of becoming a docent at the same zoo she's a docent at whenever we moved away. But I have never been to Rafiki's Planet Watch, and I feel very sad.
Aww.
I feel like my shame should be that I haven't gone to Rafiki's Planet Watch enough.
Now I feel worse.
I just went this past weekend, actually. Been in a while, but I have been before, and it's nice. I know we've said it before, it would be much better if it was located a little bit closer to the rest of the park and you didn't have to take a train to get over there, but I definitely still think it's something that everyone should check out.
Yeah. I've never ridden Stitch, but I don't care about that.
I was going to say you're not missing much there.
Excuse me, Mario, you're always standing up for Stitch.
I'm not saying...
You changed your mind.
No, okay, so I don't hate Stitch, but I don't think it's the best ride on Disney property.
Nobody does.
I was about to say, does anyone?
So, like, I'm just saying, you're not missing much. Man, that's a really hard one. But I think, not going to Rafiki's Planet Watch enough, and I guess not spending as much time in Animal Kingdom as I probably should have too, just overall. I know that's against the question that was asked, but I don't think I've missed anything.
I have kind of one that I'm not embarrassed of, but I kind of feel like it's like essential Disney thing that I've never experienced and am never going to experience. But obviously, I've never had a turkey leg, so because I haven't eaten turkey since I was 12. So
You're not missing much. I will.
Yeah.
This is another one. I have another one, and I can't believe I'm going to say this out loud. Like, it's a good thing that my family never listens to this. Will's going to fall over when he hears me admit this. So, whenever I was little, my best friend wanted to watch Mary Poppins, and I didn't want to because I didn't like the cover of the VHS. And so I said, no, I hate that movie. And I literally never watched it. I just spent my entire life saying, I hate Mary Poppins.
Oh my God.
And finally, like 3 years ago, I don't know, it was after we were married, I finally admitted this to Will because nobody knew. And he was like, you have to watch it. And now I love it. But until like 3 years ago, I literally went my entire life telling everybody I hated Mary Poppins.
Oh my gosh, that's so crazy.
That's funny. Have you seen Saving Mr. Banks?
Yes, and I love it so much.
I know.
I own that.
It's a good back-to-back to watch.
You know what? Here's one that I've got that I'm going to say I'm embarrassed to say that I've never done. And it's really kind of stupid, but I have never been to Chef Mickey's, and I know that there has been some talk about that on here. And I feel like that's one that you have to do, like if you say that you're a Disney fan. So that's on our next to-do trip list.
I haven't done it either.
Me
I
either.
don't recommend it.
I don't know. Like, what was that, Kirsten?
I don't recommend it. Okay, it grosses me out because they do like the napkin in the air.
Okay.
I'm just like, they're a bunch of little kids with like food all over their napkins, probably half masticated food. I don't know. And they're like in the air, like, no, thank you. I will pass.
I see, like, I feel like you have to do at least one of the character buffets, and like I've done them enough to know that there's not really anything special, so I've kind of avoided it, but that's come up a couple times on the show. The next question we had was, what is the top of your Disney bucket list?
There's so many things.
uh
I mean, if you want to go ahead.
Sleep in the castle.
That's literally, I was going to say, if you want to go really big, it's to sleep in the castle. If I like something actually feasible, I'd have to think more about.
You know, if you're going to go that route, Kirsten, you might as well just say Sleep in Tower of Terror.
In my fifth gate, when they build that, there will be a Tower of Terror hotel.
There you go.
Sleep in the Castle is a good one. I want to say I also kind of want to do Cinderella's Royal Table, but I know that I'm priced out of that, so I'm never going to pay for that. Also, I had another one and I lost it. Come back to me.
I would say like something that I could actually do, and if like I don't get super lucky or win a contest, I really want to do the Wild Africa trek at Animal Kingdom.
I could go with that too.
That would be pretty cool.
I guess one for me that, again, isn't like maybe necessarily a bucket list item, but one that I want to do is dine with an Imagineer.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants to pay for us to do Dining with an Imagineer.
I've tried, like our last trip in October, whenever I went, I tried to get in, and like I don't know if they don't always do it, because I did it like the very first day and all that. And I couldn't get in. It said like it wasn't available or whatever. So I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't tried because I feel like it's going to be super expensive.
Yeah.
Oh, I got one. Club 33.
Oh.
Yeah.
Although that's kind of in the realm of Cinderella Castle.
I feel like just any dining that I'm going to be priced out of. Also Victoria and Albert's, that would be cool. But I don't want to dress up in the Florida heat.
Oh, I know. I think about that every time I go to Grand Floridian, just to like resort hop. It's like, man, that's a lot. I don't think I've ever worn anything. I don't even know if I've ever worn like a button up while I was at Disney.
I would love to go to Victoria and Albert's and dress up. So
Yeah.
I mean, in their defense, it's a lot easier for a girl to dress up and be comfortable than a guy.
yeah. And I was actually just thinking about that before the show because we got a question about maybe doing an episode on dining, like our favorite restaurants or whatever. And I think I've been to every restaurant on the monorail resorts except for Victoria and Albert's.
So before we stray a little bit too far away from that, someone in our chat asked what Club 33 is, and then another person asked if we saw the leaked photos of Club 33. So Club 33 is kind of like the super ultra exclusive Disney club that you have to pay a whole bunch of money to become a member of. You're not allowed to like post pictures or videos or anything inside of it. So really super secretive about how it looks inside. To answer the other person's question, we talked about that a little bit last week, and we were all kind of a little bit underwhelmed about it too. But to preface that, there was one leaked photo of what looked like a picture in Club 33. So I think that's as close as we'll get to actually seeing it.
I wasn't there. I wasn't on the show last week, and I'm just now seeing this, and I have never seen that picture before of Walt, but now I like want that in my house.
Yeah, the picture of Walt is nice.
It's like I've never seen that.
Also, someone asked if we know how much it is to join Club 33, and I know that it is more money than I will ever have.
I think the annual dues, like the annual membership dues, are about $10,000. So.
And that's not even, you have to pay an initial buy-in too, I believe. So
I think it's 25,000 for the buy-in.
Whew, yeah.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants to donate,
yeah, we need 4 memberships.
Not seriously.
Yes, seriously.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah. Mario doesn't speak for everyone on here.
I try. We also had another question. Did we finish that bucket list question? I don't know if I missed anyone. I'm sorry.
I think so.
I think we
Okay,
got it.
cool. So the next question we had was, in your mind, what solidified Disney as a place you love? Anybody want to take that first?
I'll go first. I think going as an adult was really what solidified it, because it's like a place that you can go, or at least for me, that I literally don't think about anything that's not there. Like I don't think about work. I don't think about anything going on back home. I don't think about all of the terrible stuff happening in the news. It's just like a nice break from reality. So I think that's why.
Yeah.
My mother-in-law used to say, like, when you go on vacation to Disney World, like most vacations, you relax your body, but you don't relax your mind. But at Disney World, even though you're not relaxing your body and you're like going, you're relaxing your mind. And
that's a really good point.
Yeah.
I think for me, it was, I didn't go till I was in 9th grade. My dad doesn't love me. No, I'm just kidding. He just like doesn't really like theme parks, and and I had fun on my 9th grade trip. I was really the only one out of my whole family that really, got attached. But I think the first time I went, the next time after that, I was a senior in high school, and I went with Will and his family, and I don't know, I fell in love with it there. I feel like now it holds such a like special place in like our relationship, and just everything that's happened to me since then. It's just like grown onto my love. So I don't think I really had like one specific moment.
Mine is going to be super long and emotional. So if you want to give yours, Brian, and then I can give mine if you want.
Well, I said it before. I used to go pretty much annually with my family, and then we kind of stopped going when I went into high school, and then through college I didn't go until right before me and my wife both started our last years in college, and we decided to go on vacation together. And I said, hey, let's go to Disney. I hadn't been in a couple years and everything. And I remember kind of being on the way there, after everything's planned and we're already set in our ways, and just thinking like, is this going to be the same? Is it going to be as fun as it was when I was a kid? And it was like, for us, it was, even though we did it super cheap, like it was a huge amount of money for us at the time, being in college and everything. And you kind of get like nervous on the way off there. It's like, man, is this going to be like I remembered it? And it's like, as soon as we got there, it's like, you get hit with that same like childhood amazement that like was always there as a kid for me. And for that, like I've always loved Disney, but coming back as an adult for the first time and like feeling just like I did as a kid, like that really solidified it for me. And I know I'll always like just have an awesome time when we go.
So mine is kind of similar. We used to go every year, every other year with my mom's whole family. All 16 of us would, fly down. It was always fun. It was always something that I kind of took for granted. And every year we would do it. I was always like, oh, we're going to Disney again. We're going to Disney again. And it wasn't something that I really kind of appreciated. I knew all of the parks. I knew where things were. I kind of had this general like way about it, like that I knew where I was going. And then my grandmom got sick and we really didn't go as much because she couldn't feasibly fly. And in her will after she had passed, she had said that she wanted us to all go on one last trip together as a family, just to kind of keep everything the way it was. And when we went, I think that was when it started to hit me. Actually a couple months prior to that, my friends had jokingly said, oh, you go to Disney so much, let's go for your 21st birthday and we'll drink around Epcot. And that trip was fun. I did enjoy that a lot, but even then I still was kind of like, oh, we're just going back to Disney. And then that last trip with my whole family, it was really something, and I for lack of a better word, magical about it, how this one place could just, bring all of those happy memories back and really kind of make me forget everything that was going on outside, and really just kind of draw me into this place. And I think that's what really solidified my love for Disney. So, yeah.
Nice. Very heartfelt.
Yeah. This next one is a little bit of a lighter note. So this question is specifically for Brian from Will, and he asks, Brian, who hurt you, and did that result in your love for Country Bear Jamboree?
I can't express in words why I love Country Bear Jamboree as much as I do.
There are no words.
I mean, it's one of the best things that I can think of that you can do while you're at Disney. And it's just, I mean, Big Al is just, he's awesome. But really, I love going because it's something goofy and just like carefree that you can go do. And you're kind of laughing at it and along with it at the same time. I don't know. It's just, I love it.
I'm with you, Brian.
I
love Country Bear Jamboree. I literally, like, the first time I saw it as an adult was crying laughing.
We're going to do it this next trip, and I'm just like, I guess I'll have to try to enjoy it, but I don't think you're going to convert me over.
Sit outside.
Make sure you pick up on these awesome Country Bear Jamboree plastic, I don't know what, in this like moonshine looking jug.
I would rather get heat stroke.
Please note that this podcast is not sponsored by Country Bear Jamboree. So we got another long one after that.
I do want to mention that we never went back to the Toy Story question.
Oh, I am so sorry.
So I actually thought of an answer, and it's kind of dumb, but I'm going to say Mr. Prickle Pants because I love theater. So that's me.
I'm going to stay with Rex. I'll be afraid of everything.
Nice.
Did anyone else not answer that? Because Kirsten said Slinky and...
You said you were going to redo yours.
Yeah, I'm just going to stay with mine. I'll just accept it. So yeah, the next question, or the next thing we had was from Chris Nolan. It says, I wanted to let you know that I really enjoy the show and I listen to new episodes as soon as they come out. You guys have great topic ideas and really cool chemistry on the show. One thing I was wondering, I assume you are all the Disney guy / girl in your family, among your friends and at work, etc. I'm wondering if you have any experiences being the Disney person, both positive and negative. I am for sure the Disney guy in my world, and it's cool when people ask for trip planning tips, give you I just lost my place. I am so sorry. That was bad.
It's okay. We'll just edit it out and put it back in.
Oh gosh. Shoot.
When people ask for
Thank
trip
you.
planning tips, give you a trip report when they get back, etc. But it's also been negative at times. I'm a good deal older than you guys, and I often get the "hey, grow up" response, and I'm sometimes perceived as less intelligent because I love Disney, go to the park so much, etc. In fact, I have a fairly high-level marketing job, and at one point I had all sorts of Disney stuff in my office. It got to the point that I got enough negative comments, including several from an old boss, that I actually felt it was negatively affecting my career, so I took all the stuff down.
That is depressing.
That's a bummer. You know, you don't need that kind of negativity in your life.
I mean, I feel like mine isn't obvious because honestly, I just have been planning on decorating my desk for like a year, but I've never done it. But I definitely don't talk about it at work very much. I mean, I work in finance. It's a pretty conservative industry. Like most of the people I work with went to Harvard and Yale and that type of thing. So it's definitely, they're not the kind of people who go to Disney World on vacation. Like my boss just went to Croatia on vacation.
Wow.
So yeah, it doesn't like a couple of them know that I have a Disney podcast, but like it's not something that I really bring up because I definitely feel like it's not like they would frown upon it, but it definitely wouldn't make me sound smarter to them, which is stupid, but it is what it is.
I think for me, most people know how big into Disney I am. And I think everyone, like, if you're a big Disney fan, from time to time will hear the stereotypical, you know, oh, isn't that for kids? Like, and especially like me and my wife don't have kids. So it's like, what do y'all do when you go there? It's like, we do everything that's there at Disney pretty much. And I think you just have to look past that. It's like, if you enjoy Disney, if you enjoy going to the parks, if you enjoy the movies and everything, have fun with it and just forget what everyone else has got to say. If that's what you like to do, you know, have fun with it.
Yeah, I totally agree. I work in an office setting actually at a construction company, so they are definitely not the Disney crowd over there, but pretty much everybody there knows how big I am into Disney because I'm just like, you don't like Disney, and then you don't have the youth in your heart like I do, so that's your problem, not mine.
I would like to say I want to know exactly how old Chris is because I'm a lot older than I look. So because I'm curious, because I bet you're not that much older than me.
How old are you, Kirsten?
I'm 29.
Oh my God, I'm 28. I was just like, oh my God, how old is she? She does look like my age.
Well, I mean, I got asked like twice a couple weeks ago if I was in high school, so I feel like
oh wow, yeah.
There to that.
Meanwhile, I'm the baby on the show. One of the jobs that I worked at, like when I first started working, my boss and I were both like really big Disney people, so that was kind of cool. They actually moved down to Florida, and that's how big of a Disney family they were. But the last job that I worked at, I used to put I collect pop figures. I've said that a million times. I also have like tiny little figures and things that I used to put on my desk as well, just to kind of have like my own personal touch there. And for some people it was really weird, but like Brian said, you kind of just can't let that bother you. You really just kind of have to be who you are and let everyone else just think you're weird for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Cool.
Don't lose the magic.
So do we want to read this next one? Because this is a really long one too. So I'm going to zoom in on this so I don't lose my place. Oh, actually, before I read that, Katie in our chat said, for the record, Brian's passion for Dino Land made that section of Animal Kingdom grow on me.
See,
Aww.
That's what I love, to inspire people for the lesser loved attractions and areas. I'm sure she must also be a huge Country Bear Jamboree fan too after listening to the show.
Please don't push it. So this next one was from I'm not going to try to pronounce this person's name. Thank you, because I butcher people's names and I hate when people kill mine. So, she says, hi guys. First off, congratulations on the 1-year anniversary. I enjoy the show immensely and always look forward to listening to it on my drive to and from work. After a long day, it's nice to listen to a show that pulls me away from reality and into Disney mentality, even while I'm away from the parks. My favorite episodes tend to be the ones where you guys do a couple rounds of Disney superlatives, which are always fun for us. So it'd be awesome if you guys could keep that up. I also had a few ideas for future episodes. Do we want to go through them or do we want to actually save them for topics?
Yeah, I think we should just save them.
Okay, because there's a couple of them that are really good. He also said, thank you guys for all you do and keep it up. Looking forward to the live show tonight. So thank you, Acadia. If you're here, hello. And thank you for coming and hanging out with us.
Yeah, and just kind of a note on that. I know somebody else earlier said that they loved our show topics, but we really do get a lot of our ideas from listeners writing in to us. So definitely thanks for helping, us come up with all this stuff.
Yeah, that's always the hardest part for us, is coming up with topics that like we want to talk about, but at the same time, things that we think you guys will want to listen to.
There's a lot of ideas, send them.
Yeah, it's always nice to get suggestions, because then we know that you want to talk about stuff that either we've never thought of or things that we've thought that no one would want to listen to. So next question that we had was from another name that I am not going to try to pronounce. I apologize, guys. Are there any rides in Disney you haven't been on?
I think Stitch's Great Escape is like the only thing I can think of.
Does that count? Because it's not even open anymore.
Oh. I'm not hip. I don't.
No, I'm just messing with you. All right, I'm gonna say it. I haven't been on Country Bear Jamboree in so long that I feel like that counts for this one.
I thought you were gonna say you'd never been on it, and I was about to gasp.
No, I've been on it like years ago, so much so that I remember that it wasn't something I needed to do again.
You know what I'm gonna tell you, right?
That I need to go on it?
Absolutely.
I've never ridden the Triceratops spin thing that Chant was talking about.
I mean, if you've ridden Dumbo, Magic Carpets, Astro Orbiter, it's easily the worst out of the 4. So you're not missing anything.
Yeah, I haven't been on that either, but I wish I had an interesting answer.
I feel like, this is the thing with like how much we go and how, not to brag or anything, that sounds so wrong, but with like how often we've all been to the parks, it's really easy to do all of the attractions in the parks in a couple trips.
I've never done any of the movies in Epcot, the O Canada or the like Reflections of China or whatever. I've only done the France one.
The only one of those I have done was the Norway one, when you're like walking out of Maelstrom. So I'm with you on that.
Rest in peace.
I like O Canada. It's actually kind of funny. Like the other ones are more informative or like visually stunning, but O Canada actually has like comedic value to it. So.
Yeah. I think out of all of them, that is the most fun, I guess. So to kind of jump ahead a little bit, someone in our chat asked us, what's one extinct attraction you wish you could have ridden? I feel like this is a little bit harder.
Oh, this is easy for me. Absolutely 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Like, no question.
I'm going to say that I wish I could have ridden the early iteration of Journey into Imagination.
Yeah.
And Horizons. Those are my 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would go with Horizons.
Yeah, if we're talking ones like to bring back something I never got the chance to do, I would probably also do Journey into Imagination. But for something that I have actually done, I'm going to say Studio Backlot Tour.
Nice. Side note, Christian Nolan just popped in our chat and said, Country Bears is the best. My family hates it, but I make them go. So there is some love. So after that we had, what's the one thing on Disney property you've always wanted to do but cost is too much, too overpriced?
I've stayed at Grand Floridian, but only in the outer buildings. Like most of the buildings inside the main building are club level and like suites. So I would say stay like in a club level room or like a suite room at the Grand Floridian. Actually, at all of I've stayed club level at Polynesian, but like contemporary stayed in the main building, but not club level. So club level at Grand Floridian or suite. Yeah.
Mouse Rants in the YouTube chat says bungalows. I agree.
Man,
Ooh,
that was
that's a
going to be
good
mine.
Just not about that bungalow life.
I'm all about that bungalow life.
Yeah, they're just too much for me to really invest in them. But if it was free, I'd do it by all means.
Oh,
We need a
definitely.
Victoria and Albert.
Yeah,
that's another one. Victoria and Albert's.
Or buy Club 33.
there you go.
Or oh gosh, my other one would probably be, not that there's a cost value to this, but stay in the castle. Like if they ever sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I also Cinderella's Royal Table. I can't convince myself to pay that.
It's
That's
not
fair.
that great. It's not worth it.
Which is what I've heard. Yeah.
Now that there's Be Our Guest, there's no reason to go to Cinderella's Royal Table. None.
Noted.
So let's do a couple other ones. I'll roll the other audio clip that we have, and then if there's anything else in here, we can answer them and then get to the giveaway, because we're coming close to an hour. Yeah, we're a little over an hour now. So the next one that we had was, what is your fondest memory from the time spent in the park? That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Do you want me to roll the clip and then we can think about this and then come back to it?
Yeah, give us some time.
Okay, so this one is from, well, they have their name in the thing, so I'm just going to roll it.
Hey, Mario and crew, this is Grant from Guy's Guide to Disney.com. And my
Hang on one second. There's something weird going on with that. All right, let me try that again.
Hey, Mario and crew, this is Grant from Guy's Guide to Disney.com and my Instagram at Guy's Guide to Disney. Just calling to wish you guys a very happy 1-year anniversary show tonight. I hope it's everything you guys want. I hope a ton of people turn out. I'm on my way to pick up a table and chairs right now, so I'm going to try when I get back from moving to go ahead and tune in and get some prizes won and some trivia answered. So good luck, guys, and keep doing what you're doing, all right?
Cool.
Awesome.
Thank you, Grant.
Yeah.
These things have been a lot of fun. I have to say, before we even answer this question, this has been really exciting to kind of have a lot of people here to just celebrate this 1 year with us. But yeah, did you guys come up with any fond Disney memories?
Yeah. So I mentioned earlier, whenever I went in high school, I went with Will's family. So Will's mother and I were very, very, very close. And whenever I was doing my internship there, Will and I actually were not together, but his mother and I were still really good friends. And so they came to visit me. And I took the whole week off and like got them, discounts on the room. And like, we just had such a good trip. And then a few months, that was in March on her spring break. She was a teacher. And then in May, we found out she was sick. And then in July, she passed away from melanoma. And so like at the time, I didn't realize, that would be our last trip together because she loved Disney just like I do. But now, like looking back, I'm really glad that I had that week with her. So that's like kind of sad, but it's also really true. I just like now every time we go, that's kind of things that we'll talk about. Will and I, remembering his mom and like what she liked to do and what we, had fun doing together and that sort of thing. So that 1 week is definitely my best memory. Oh, and Will proposed there. Sorry. Yeah.
You have to say that when you're obligated.
Even though he's not listening right now.
Man, there's so many like good memories that I have there. And kind of like I said before, that's the whole reason that I really do love Disney as much as I do. One of my favorites though, and this is just something really dumb, our first day, every time we would stay, because we always used to stay at Coronado Springs, we would always do a pool day. And everyone that's been to Coronado Springs knows that giant pyramid that's there in the pool. And one of our earlier trips, my cousin thought it would be a good idea to start to climb the pyramid that has all that water and stuff coming down it. And the lifeguards were not happy about that. And we were told we couldn't come back to the pool for the rest of the trip.
Oh my gosh.
But that's one of those like stupid things I'm never going to forget. So every time I see a picture of it, I'm like, remember that time that we got kicked out of the pool at Coronado? What about you guys?
I'm sure that I have more like exciting stories than this, but the one that just keeps popping into my head is this was probably last year or the year before. My boyfriend and I were at Animal Kingdom, and like the sky just like dropped out and started raining so hard, and pretty much everybody left, but we were just like, I'm not gonna leave. So we literally just like, I don't know, embraced the rain and walked around in it, and we were like soaking wet, and we got on the train, went to Rafiki's Planet Watch. We rode the safari like twice without any wait, and it was just like a really nice memory.
It's cool.
Your turn, Brian. You're in the hot seat.
Oh man, I don't know. It's hard to pick. I want to go to seeing the Osborne lights for the first time, like when me and my wife and my parents went together on a trip. That was really cool. I mean, just visually stunning in itself. But I think one of my favorite just stories from it was I was fairly young, and it was right when Animal Kingdom first opened. So I was probably 6 or so at the time. And me and my family got there for rope drop, and we were pretty close to the front of the line. And when we got there, a cast member pulled up me and my family aside and said, "Hey, does he want to help us like introduce guests to the park?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I want to do it." So it was cool. They gave me like a safari hat and a little like ranger vest and stuff. And they had where they bring out the like fake tarantula and everything. And I got to hold it and like wave at people as they come in. And it was so cool. Like I remember it very distinctly, like it being this awesome experience. And it was always funny, like hearing my dad tell the story though, because he was like, "Yeah, we're really happy you got to do that." And all, he was like, "We were there for rope drop, and then we did that for like 20 minutes, so we were behind everyone else getting on the rides." But even so, like it was really cool to be able to do that.
That is such a cool experience.
It's fun.
I feel like this next question is specifically for Kirsten. Dre's Pops and Boxes asks, do you have a favorite Instagram wall?
I mean, I'm very partial to the purple wall. Oh.
We have another call incoming, so I'm going to answer that, and then we'll get to that.
Nice.
Hello?
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thanks. I'm just calling because I wanted to say congratulations on your 1-year anniversary. And I just wanted to thank you all so much for helping me plan my trip. And you guys are just really helpful. Everything you say is really realistic and not too out there for planning a trip.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for those kind words.
Yeah.
Cool.
And so to say, I think with your podcast, the ages you are, it's just the advice you give is financially really helpful. And yeah, I just wanted to say I really appreciate it.
We really try. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
No worries. Thanks, guys.
No problem. Can we ask who's calling before you go?
Oh, my name's Emma. I'm from New Zealand.
Oh, awesome.
Wow.
Awesome. Wow. Cool.
We've gone international, guys. This is awesome.
I've got a big trip coming in January, and you're my favorite podcast because a lot of the other podcasts are just too crazy, too much information that's not really formatted right. And I've just found it really helpful. It's been really helpful planning my trip.
Awesome.
Well,
that means a
You'll
lot.
have to let us know how it goes.
Yeah, definitely let us know
Yeah,
how
I will.
it goes.
Thanks. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling in, Emma. Have a good night.
Okay, bye.
That was super exciting.
Oh yeah. God, New Zealand. That's so crazy.
I was gonna say she didn't sound like she was from the US, but that's really cool.
That is
New
really
Yeah.
Zealand. Wow.
Wonder what time it is there.
I'm not good at
Mid-Jan.
time zones.
I'm gonna look it up.
It's like I don't know. So while she was on the phone, my mom texted me, who I'm pretty sure I didn't know they ever listened to any of these, but apparently they're listening now because she texted me that her favorite memory is when we all went and took Eli, my baby, for his first
Aw.
time.
Aw.
Aww.
Oh, that's exciting.
Just fun fact: it is tomorrow at 1:16 p.m. in New Zealand.
Wow, that's really
Oh, call from the future.
We should have
Yeah.
asked her if anything big's happening.
So Kirsten, what is your favorite Instagram wall?
the purple wall. Like, I'm sorry. I think it's super cool. I'm very angry that they've changed it and they're making it like a Disney thing now because it was fun because it was just this dumb, lame wall that people made cool. I actually bought this stupid "Take Me to the Purple Wall" hat, like the baseball cap for my vacation. And Will didn't want to be seen with me, but my friends were like, "What does that even mean?" Because they don't like Disney, but I enjoyed it.
So even though they painted it, it's still your favorite?
I mean, I'm just gonna go move to the other, like to further down the wall to where it's still just plain purple. So
There you go.
and they have like so many now, and I will plug one of my friends who crochets. She does like a lot of cup like cozies and like ice cream holders and stuff, and she has like a whole collection for all the different walls, like the bubblegum wall, the toothpaste wall, the purple wall, which I think has like been super creative and something that I haven't seen a ton of. So that's Allison's Wonderland Co. on Instagram.
I have taken
Nice.
a look at her stuff because I think we follow her on the podcast one, right?
Yeah, I probably did that.
Well, she showed up. What was that?
She was one of my roommates on my program, and we're still really good friends. So
She showed up on
cool.
our news feed, and I was like, "Oh, this is actually interesting." And I kind of scrolled through some of her stuff. It's really cool.
yeah,
I don't have a favorite Instagram wall because I'm not hip enough for that. If you look at my Instagram, it hasn't been updated in like 3 months.
So I've never actually been to this wall, but I keep putting it on my list and just never making it there. But the "You Are Beautiful" wall in Animal Kingdom is pretty cool.
I do like that one.
And it has a whole Instagram of its own. So
Really?
lots of photos of people in front of it.
Cool. So kind of off of that, we had another question asking if Beth and Kirsten have any ear headbands.
So when I first started going, I got like a set of Mickey ears like every time, but not the actual headbands. But then I started going too much and didn't want 10,000 Mickey ears. So I actually hadn't bought any in a really long time, and I'd never bought the actual headbands, just the ear hats. But when I went to Disneyland last month, I just had to do the thing, and I got the rose gold ones. So yeah, I have one pair.
Of course.
yeah. I have a pair of like the silver sequin ones from years ago, like when I was in college. And I feel like this small shop thing on Instagram is relatively new, like in the past few years. But before that, and before people were making all these, there were bows. This girl, Magical Ribbons, did a ton of bows, and they're amazing and so creative. So I have several just like bows that I'll wear, but I do have one pair of 3D ears that I got from Imaginext ears on Instagram, and I love them. I really want another pair, but it goes against my need to have like literally nothing in my house. So I'm going to choose very carefully like which ones I get, because I probably won't get too many more pairs.
I need to channel you because you have like, you're minimalist and I have like way too much stuff. So maybe I can like meet in the middle and have like a happy medium.
Yeah, I hate things.
See, I love things. That's the problem. I need all the things.
When I collect other stuff too, like I collect Cher memorabilia, I have a whole room in my house dedicated to Cher. So, you know.
Did you see the Mamma Mia sequel?
Yes, the first night, clearly.
Is that even a question?
Yes.
Speaking of collecting things, someone asked me to show them my pops, which would not make for fun audio, so I'm not going to do that.
You can take a picture and post it
Yeah,
later.
Yeah, you have to post it on Instagram.
I mean, I can do a quick flash of them, but that's like there's a whole bookshelf like right next to me, and I don't. That's a lot. I'll post it on Instagram. My favorite ones, I have every Stitch one that they've come out with, so I'll grab it because
That's pretty
that's
cool.
fun. My favorite one is there was a box lunch exclusive where it's Stitch in a test tube. If you're looking at this on the
Oh, that's
feed, you can see
sweet.
it.
That's awesome.
I really want the Haunted Mansion ones, but I'll never get them. So that's the fun, not for audio stuff. All right. So I'm gonna say let's close off our questions at the ones that we have now. Because we got a couple more. I think 1, 2, 3 more. We can do our blooper reel while you tally up the stuff, Beth. Sound good?
Okay. Yep.
Okay, cool. So the next question that we had, and I think all of us answered this at one point, except for maybe Beth, is do any of you guys play Kingdom Hearts, and what's your favorite world? I think Brian, Kirsten, and I have all answered this with yes, right?
Yeah.
I have, but I haven't played since the first one, so I'm a bit behind. I am super excited that the new one's coming out, but
I'm actually replaying the first one right now, like on
Me
weekends,
too.
very late at night,
Aw.
to get like hyped up for the third one. And I don't know, I haven't made it to the second one in my playthrough, but I feel like I would have to say probably Beauty and the Beast from the second one, because that's my favorite movie and I'm predictable.
Where are you at in the first one? Because I'm replaying it too, and I just got like halfway through Agrabah and gave up.
Like I've done most of the worlds. I'm trying to figure out how to trigger like Hollow Bastion, but I'm trying to play like completionist, because usually my strategy is like if something comes at me, I just turn around and run away. And I don't actually do well, and I really want to build like Ultima Weapon and all that stuff, and like do literally everything and save all the puppies and whatever.
I think my favorite world probably is Hollow Bastion, just because it was so different.
Yeah.
But other than that, like that's my favorite video game series, and I'm replaying it again, just like you. What about you,
Nice.
Beth? Have you played it?
So I'm really bad at video games, so I have not played it, but I have watched friends play it a little bit. I haven't really watched like all of it, but so I don't know if I would really have a favorite land because I'm not experienced enough, but I do enjoy watching people play video games, but I'm not good at them, so it's not super fun. But maybe I'll try Kingdom Hearts. I think if I was gonna get good at a video game, that would probably be it.
Yeah.
So funny story about that game. When I was younger and that first came out, my parents bought me a PlayStation 2 for Christmas, and that was like the first game that I had with it. But they didn't know that you had to buy a memory card. So I played through Deep Jungle at least 10 times, and I can now do that level with my eyes closed. And that might be part of the reason why I don't like Tarzan as much as I used to.
Oh, I'm reading this live chat now. Hi, Allie.
So the next one, this one should be pretty easy too. Have you guys been to the parks outside of the States? That's going to be a big no.
I wish.
So depressing. Tokyo Disney is my next trip. I swear. I'm not going to be pulled back by the siren call of Disney World. I'm going to Tokyo.
All right. So mark her words on that one, because
Yeah.
And the last one that we had was, what's your favorite drink to get while drinking around the world? I feel like Beth might be able to answer that one the easiest.
I don't know. See, like I usually try to get something different every time. Like I generally just, I don't know. I don't know if I really have a favorite, but I have a least favorite. I can tell you that.
What's that?
And it, the Aqua Vitae shot in Norway. It literally hurts to drink.
Like
But-
rubbing or something? Like
No, I honestly, I don't know what the flavor is, but I feel like it's like rubbing alcohol, but like worse. I don't know. It's like it burns. It's weird.
I would
So,
say
yeah.
I'm really picky. I don't really drink a lot because I have sensitive taste buds, as I like to say. The only thing I really like is the Grand Marnier slushy thing.
Oh, that is good.
About it.
Okay, so I can't pick a favorite because there's too many good ones, but I'm gonna say anything at the China Pavilion. The Joy of Tea is a really good stand for drinks.
It's a good one.
Okay, I also do want to point out that I pretty much get a Welsh Dragon in the UK every time. So I guess if I had to pick a favorite, that'd probably be it.
What is
I
that?
drink over and over is Coke. Continue.
Welsh Dragon is like a mixture of like Midori and something else. I don't know. I really like Midori, so maybe that's why.
Okay. For me, I'm gonna say the grapefruit Hefeweizen in Germany. I know everybody wants to get like the Oktoberfest when they go there, but I really like the grapefruit beer better.
See, that's really good, but I can get that anywhere.
Yeah, but still my favorite.
Yeah. Mouse Rant says 4 words: tipsy ducks in love, and I totally agree. 100% agree.
Is that the one with coffee?
No, that's Viking
Yeah,
coffee.
iced coffee and tea plus whipped cream.
Maybe it is. There's Viking coffee in Norway too. That's really good.
Oh, that's gross.
I don't like coffee.
I don't like coffee or tea.
I love tea. I hate coffee.
It looks like a milkshake. You could probably fool me and then get me to try it, and then I would spit it out.
Yeah. Okay. So that is what I was thinking it was, and it's really good. And I remember it being like a milkshake.
Somebody else said frozen mango and strawberry margarita in Mexico.
Oh yeah, I have a guilty pleasure for the Mexico Pavilion. What about you, Brian? Do you have one, or did you answer?
Oh, he said the grapefruit beer.
Oh yeah, that's right, because I made fun of him for it. So yeah, did you guys have anything else you wanted to talk about? I had a couple things that I wanted to run through at the very end, but since we're tying up all the questions and everything, I guess we can calculate all that stuff if you want to. Do you want to do that? And then we can roll the blooper reel, or as we're rolling the blooper reel?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have about 4 bloopers from the last year. I was going to release a bonus episode of just some funny things that we've said off camera or on camera and didn't make it into the episode. But then I realized that we're a lot tighter with recording this than I thought we would be. So here,
you must have just lost the audio because I don't think that's
You're
true.
just that good.
I see. It's funny because like looking at the audio, I was like, wow, this is actually not as bad as I thought it was. But there's always like a lot of pauses and stuff to edit out. So that's where a lot of the editing comes in. But these 4 at least are from like the last couple months at most. And they're all pretty great. So I'm going to roll those. You're listening to the Station 71 podcast with your hosts, Mario.
Brian.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm waiting. I'm sitting here. Beth. Okay,
We can start over if you want.
start over, yeah. Kind of experimenting around with these design ideas.
Exactly.
I'm going to pretend that I heard everything that you said because my internet died for a second.
But let's talk about the animatronic because we've kind of touched on this a little bit. So who wants to talk about this? Because I know we can all kind of go on here.
This is the single greatest travesty.
I honestly have not seen the show all the way through because the time that I tried to go, I was like, I had heard so many bad things about it, and I was like, I'm just gonna give it the benefit of the doubt, and I got to see it once. So I like went, sat and waited. We got good seats. It started, and I was like, wow, this is pretty. This is really neat. And then everything stopped moving, and they had to like reset the show. And then they did it. Then the same thing happened again, and everything stopped moving. And they're like, "All right, sorry, everybody, we're canceling it tonight." And I was like, "Cool. I never want to see this show."
So I'm totally going to edit that into the portion where we talk about Rivers of Light.
Are we not talking about Rivers of Light?
No.
I'm sorry. I thought you said we're moving on to the next.
The animatronic.
Oh my god. When you said travesty, I assumed we were talking about Rivers of Light.
That speaks volumes to how bad Rivers of Light. I heard travesty, I was immediately switched over to Rivers of Light.
All right, well, I had some good insight there, so definitely edit that into the part. And I won't say anything when we actually get there.
Yeah, I'm gonna edit that in there. I'm gonna find a spot to put that in because that was good. But
I'll just say like apt analysis back after that, and then you put hers in before that.
Oh, that was good.
Sorry about that.
I don't even know how to go back because that was just a good transition. So, are we ready to talk about the news this week? Or not? Are we ready to talk about
try that
this
again?
topic? Yeah, I do want to try that again.
Okay.
So, are we ready to talk about this week's news?
That one's going on the gag reel.
Oh gosh, I can't believe I did that twice in a row. So you're ready to talk about this week's topic?
Yes.
So there are our bloopers from the last year of podcasting, or some of the highlights of our bloopers from the last year.
Man, I can't believe you guys just let me go on and on and on and just be like, shut up, Beth. That's not what we're talking about.
It's like you were so confident in it. I was almost questioning myself. I was like, oh, wait, was I talking about the wrong thing?
Well, and the best part is all of that audio made it into the Rivers of Light portion of that show.
I would just like to point
clever
out,
editing.
none of those bloopers were me.
It's true.
Yeah, it's actually really funny because you aren't in any of them, and I was going back and listening to them, and Kirsten's audio is like the most clean.
Which is really shocking. I think my favorite is Brian, and Beth, you weren't here that week, and Brian forgot you weren't here, and that's what happened. That's my favorite. It's like waiting forever.
The worst part about that one is I think Mario still had to edit out like a huge pause because we still like laughed about that and went right back to recording. And my brain still took I was like, oh, it's my turn again, and then had to say it.
Yeah. I mean, at least it's not as bad as my news flub where I was like ready for the news topic like 7 times after we got on the news.
Oh man.
So much fun. So did you have enough time to tally all that stuff up, Beth?
I did.
Okay. So do you want to take over from here since this whole giveaway thing was your idea?
All right. So I guess we're just going to go down the list here. Let me get it pulled up. Should have done that while we
I have
were.
it in front of me if you want me to read them off.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
Okay, so our first prize was the Funko Pop figure, which I actually have sitting next to me.
And it's baby Pegasus, which is so cute.
Yes.
All right. First winner is Maria.
Woo.
Woohoo!
Congratulations, Maria. And then our next one was the Walter and Rosie Candle Company Thank the Phoenicians candle.
All right. Allison.
Okay. Had a Tsum Tsum 2 multi-packs and 1 mystery stack pack.
Grant.
Next one was the Jasmine Lithograph and Tsum Tsum 3-pack.
Christy. Wow, we're getting a nice,
Nice mix up here. Yeah. So we had, after that was the Zootopia Lithograph and Tsum Tsum 3-pack.
Okay. Acadia.
Okay. The last one was the Toy Story Lithograph and the Inside Out Lithograph.
Acadia again.
Nice.
Cool. So we did have one duplicate. I was like, wow, this is like really nice, like variety. I was surprised there weren't more duplicates, but cool.
Yeah. So congratulations, Maria, Allison, Grant, Christy, and Acadia for your prizes. I'm sure we will be getting in touch with you soon on all of that stuff. But I think that's in the document thing, right, Beth?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we'll be getting in touch with you soon about your prizes and everything. But yeah, congratulations and thanks for entering our giveaway. This was super fun.
Yeah.
So before we tie up this week, I wanted to do two things. I wanted to, one, ask you guys, this last year we've done a lot of different things. We've talked about a lot of different topics. What do you think was your favorite out of all of the topics that we've talked about? What was your favorite show to record this year? I'm going to say I have two.
I also have two.
One was the episode with Chant. I really liked that one to get a different perspective that I have never had for Disney, and it was really informative. And I think that was probably the most useful to us out of all of them. And then I really liked recording our resort show because Brian and I just sat here and just went back and forth about every resort, and it took 2 hours. But we did it. We went through all of them, and that's one that we get a lot of compliments on too.
You know,
so I'm really happy about that.
I enjoyed that one a lot too, and I was almost worried going into it because I was like, "Oh man, it's only going to be me and Mario this week. I'm wondering if we're going to be able to fill the time." And lo and behold, I think that was our longest episode.
Yeah, that really is our longest episode. But you couldn't cut anything from that. Like I thought about at one point taking it and splitting it in half and doing maybe 2 parts, but like there was no good point to stop because we just went right through it all. What about you guys?
So I also have two. My first one is the Animal Kingdom in depth one where I got to nerd out about conservation because that's always really fun. But I think my other favorite was probably when we did the draft because I feel like I feel like that's the only one where we're really like fighting at each other like, oh, you took my thing. And that was fun.
We should do another one of those. That one was fun.
That was. We need to get some more stuff to draft. So if listeners have opinions on that or ideas, definitely send those to us.
Yeah.
I have like so many. Okay, I would definitely say Remembering Marty Sklar. That was like one of our first ones, and I still have a very special place in my heart for Marty. And I'm glad I got to talk a little bit about at the beginning about like my knowledge of him and that sort of thing. And others, I would say probably Chant too, just because like it was definitely a new perspective. And now like I have a child of my own who is special needs and like will be special needs. So it's like good to hear that like people do it and make it work and, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to agree with that. That was one of my favorite episodes that we've done too. Just being able to see it from a different perspective after, you know, having gone to Disney World for so long, you kind of get in this rhythm of how you do it. And then you realize it's like, wow, there's people, you know, that do it in completely different ways because of stuff like that. And it was just really informative to see it from that side. But other than that, I really liked doing the Abandoned Disney episode just because of how much like I got to dig in and look into the history of you know, River Country and Discovery Island, because that stuff always fascinates me.
That episode was all you too.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, that was good. real quick, someone asked about trivia, and
I know. I realized when I saw that, I was like, we totally didn't do any trivia. So here's what I
prepped, or
no, honestly, I totally dropped the ball on that one. So I think it would be cool for us to maybe next time we do a giveaway, just do exclusively trivia. And then we'll do like a point system. So whoever gets the most right wins the prize.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out some way to do trivia, because that was something that I know we were planning on doing. And honestly, I thought about going back and doing some trivia, and the only one I could think of, and I know that Brian's probably got this one because he's the one that brought it up on the show. On like our second episode, when we were talking about Disney's Hollywood Studios, you asked a question about Tower of Terror. It was a secret that you asked if anybody knew, and it was something about the way the board was missing letters or something. What was that one? Because that was my only trivia thought process.
So there is a sign in the lobby of Tower of Terror right before you go into the showroom. There, you should know it's the type of boards where you can interchange the letters and stuff. There's a series of letters that are fallen, and they spell out a secret message from the letters that are missing from where they're supposed to be. So if any of our listeners, well, see, we can dig up one more prize somewhere. So I would say, yeah, if whoever can answer that first in our chat, we can come up with something.
Yeah,
so
there we
go. We'll figure it out.
No bullying, honor system.
Yeah, what does the message say from that letterboard?
And that's going way back into the archive of our episodes, because that was the second one we did.
I think so. It was way back then.
It's so weird to listen to those now and be like, wow, we've really gotten a lot better at this whole podcasting thing. But the last thing I wanted to do one more thing that I wanted to do before we tie everything up is just kind of like a year in review. Like, think about some of the things that we've done. I know we talked about our favorite episodes and all that. Just personally, like I said, a lot of doing this podcast was learning from the ground up and really kind of digging through just some audio knowledge that I didn't know that I needed, and Disney knowledge that we really didn't know that we had, and all that stuff. I feel like personally, all of us have come a very long way from not only just sitting here and talking about Disney, but like how to talk about these things and not make it super boring, because that first episode is tough to get through. But yeah, so just kind of take a moment to reflect the last year of Station 71 and all of the fun things that we've done. Just that, and be super grateful for everyone that's listened to us, because really the reason that we do this week after week is because you guys continue to let us talk Disney with you. So is there anything you guys want to say in terms of like a year in review type thing?
Well, I don't want to get too mushy or anything, but it's been a really great year, and I've enjoyed doing this with you guys. I really look forward to it every week. It's a nice little escape from when I can't actually go to Disney World. I know a lot of listeners say that, but it is for me too. So thanks for doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Mm-hmm.
And go ahead.
Oh, it's been a lot of fun, finding 3 other people that are as big into Disney as I am, and just having fun talking about it each week. It's been awesome. It's like the highlight of my week is preparing and like actually getting to do the podcast.
Yeah.
And that's the funny thing. Like, I know we talked about it earlier with how we really didn't know each other before. And this all just came up from like a Reddit post. Like, it's crazy to think that now, a year later, we're all sitting here week after week talking to the same people about the same thing. Like, how funny. But yes, Allison said that she doesn't know the answer, but the fun facts are her favorite part of the podcast. And I have to agree, because I've learned a lot from you guys, just random trivia. But yeah.
Also, I don't know if you noticed, Dre's Pops and Boxes said that he thinks the message, or they think the message says Brian lives here.
That would be pretty sweet, though.
All right. Well, you guys think on it. Maybe go back and listen to some episodes
or something.
Yeah.
Whoever sends a Facebook message first.
Yeah, that works.
Yep.
Send us an
Yeah.
email, Facebook message, whatever. We have timestamps on them, so whoever sends it first, cool beans. Real quick, before we end this show this week, I have totally dropped the ball on something. I know at the end of every episode I say to send us a review and we'll read them. I, out of curiosity, haven't checked them, or not out of curiosity, but out of not getting them for so long, hadn't checked the reviews on iTunes, and out of curiosity, yesterday checked them. We have 3 new ones. So I am so sorry that I did not get to reading these sooner, but let me scroll all the way down and I will get to the newest ones. So on June 30th, to give you how far back it's been on this, we had a review that said 5 stars, fun podcast, found this podcast while researching Walt Disney World Resorts, stayed for all the great info and charming hosts. So thank you for that one. This other one is from our friend Matt, who joined us on our off-property episode. He said, this podcast is such fun, fresh take on all things Disney. It's so awesome to hear Mario, Brian, Beth, and Kirsten, who are all scattered across the United States, come together and bond over the most magical place on earth. The topics are always fun, and the host knowledge and experience regarding the parks is always super interesting. Keep up the great work from your friends over at the Love of the Mouse podcast.
Awesome.
Super
Thank
good.
you.
Awesome about that too. And Candy Crush Lover with a bunch of numbers after it gave us a 5-star review that said 10 out of 10 show. Great show. The topics are really diverse and cover aspects of Disney parks. I love how we have a balance between male and female voices. It's a fun show for all Disney lovers. I highly recommend to anyone prepping for a Walt Disney World trip or wishing they were there. So again, thank you always for all of the kind words. Yeah, that's, like I said, the reason we do this every week. And thank you guys for making this last year super awesome.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
been a good one.
So anything that you guys want to say before we tie up? Any final remarks?
I do want to point out a comment on the YouTube chat. Dre's Pops and Boxes again says live show at Walt Disney World for the 2nd anniversary, and I say yes.
Yeah, if we can feasibly do that, I am all for it.
Let's start planning now, and then maybe.
Live show at Tokyo Disney.
Ooh,
There we
even
go.
better.
Remember, I just said I wasn't going back to Disney.
That's true.
Oh, well, if we end up doing, like, I know a couple people have said that this was a fun experience doing the live show. If it ends up something that, like, you know, we get a lot more listener questions and stuff, that it becomes a point where we get a lot of information that we kind of can't cram into the episodes, maybe we'll do more live shows. But this was a fun experience, I have to say. If there's nothing else that you guys want to say, I can totally try to do our outro off the top of my head, which usually takes me 10 times to do, but I can definitely do that.
Yeah,
All right.
I have one more thing. I just want to say, I don't know how the experience has been for the listeners, but it's been really nice being able to look at you guys while we talk. So I definitely think that we should do this more.
Yeah. So another thing, I want to get super sappy here, but first of all, before I go into that, Christian Nolan said, thanks for the show, guys. Is the Tower of Terror message the fallen letters made evil tower, you're doomed, or something like that? So there you go.
We have a winner.
Nice.
But yeah, before we go, I want to get super sentimental and say, again, I know I've thanked everyone for everything this last year. But really, again, the reason we do this is because of you guys. And we've built kind of a really interesting community around this podcast in the best way. You know, every week we started getting messages on Facebook, posts on Facebook, emails and stuff like that. I look forward to that every week. When I check the email and there's something in there, I know I get really bad about actually responding to them, but to just see that people send us stuff, that's like the best part of doing this. So again, thank you everyone for all of that fun stuff.
Yeah.
So are you guys ready to wrap this week up?
Yes.
Let's do it.
All right. And that's going to do it for us this week. Thanks for joining us again on another episode of the Station 71 podcast. If you liked what you heard, be sure to subscribe to us on iTunes or wherever you happen to get your podcasts from. While you're there, you can leave us a review and we'll be happy to address your questions or comments on the show. And if you want to get in touch with us, you can find us on social media at facebook.com/station71pod, Twitter at station71pod, Instagram at station71podcast, and you can send us a listener email at station71podcast@gmail.com. We hope you enjoyed your ride, and we'll see you real soon.
Impressive.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.